Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today I'm going to be doing a review on the new Olight R50 Pro Seeker, and this is the new LE kit version. And this is a new light from Olight that's obviously geared towards more the law enforcement types, obviously with the name LE kit, that stands for law enforcement. And the reason why this is different than all the other kits is because this one comes with a docking station and a couple other features that you guys might like if you're looking for some type of professional grade law enforcement oriented / security type flashlight. So let's go ahead and take a closer look at this flashlight from Olight. So right out the gate, I'll tell you right now, this is by far the best packaging for a flashlight I've ever seen. And I know that doesn't really mean a whole lot to some people, but I mean, this really does show that these guys take their flashlights serious. And it almost looks like you're buying an iPhone. I've never seen a flashlight this nicely packaged. That's just awesome. You got this little pull tab here. And inside, you'll see the flashlight itself. And we'll get to that in a minute. Here's your holster, your wires, and your mounts for the charger and all that good stuff, because it does come with a docking station, and we'll talk about that here in a minute. So here is the Olight R50 Seeker Pro, and as you can see, this is about the average size of most duty lights. It's a little bit bigger than my other trusty workhorse duty light. This is a Streamlight ProTac HL pumping out 600 lumens. Had this for a couple years. This thing has never failed me. It's rock solid, and it has its pros and cons for sure, but it's about the same size, as you can see. You know, this fits in a duty belt, no problem. This one does not fit on a duty belt easily. You have to use a specialized holster for it, but the benefits that you get from this outweigh the holster issues. But as you can see, that's pretty nice. Not too big, you know. It's a little bit bigger, but not by much. And it's definitely smaller than this old school mag light. This is a 3D cell mag light used by many police officers back in the day. So at the heart of this flashlight is its LED. This one uses a Cree XHP70 LED with 4 light emitting cores. I don't know if you guys can even see that on the camera there. It's actually 4 emitters in there. And Olight says that this delivers 3 times the performance of a high performance Cree XM-L2 LED, which used to be, you know, all the rage just not too long ago, just a few months ago. So this thing is pretty badass. And then inside you can see that it has a orange peel reflector on the inside, and this is a crystal clear lens. I'm not exactly sure if it has anti-reflective coating. I'm sure it does. Most high-end flashlights do nowadays. The LED doesn't sit very deep in the head, so that will tell you right there that this is more of a floodlight, which is what you want if you're searching a house or a vehicle. You want a lot of flood, and this does flood fantastically. But it's actually so powerful with the 3200 lumens that this actually does throw fairly well, as you'll see in some of my test videos. And as you can see here on the head, it has a bunch of heat sinks built in to dissipate the heat that this LED pumps out. And it does get hot. Like any other high performance LED flashlight, it's going to generate heat, but it's not unbearable. And then here you can see the 1 button operation, and we'll get into that later in the video. It's got nice knurling here. Now if you look at the back, the first thing you'll notice, it does not have a rubberized tail clicky like most tactical flashlights have to turn it on and off. And that could be a deal breaker for some of you guys that just absolutely have to have that tail clicky. Say you are used to having your firearm and you like to hit that tail clicky and use the Harry's technique like that and hit it. You can't do that. You'd have to use your pinky, which you'd have to orient this thing in the right position to turn it on and use it that way. And you could do it, you still could. It's just not as ergonomic as a tail clicky if you like this technique. What I found is you could still use this in this position here where you do the side by side kind of technique, or underneath. A lot of guys like to do the underneath technique. So you can still use this with your firearm. It's just not the traditional tail clicky that a lot of guys like to use. Now, me personally, I don't mind that it doesn't have a tail clicky because it is comfortable holding it like this for long periods of time and for doing searches or whatever. And also, too, I found that when I shoot, I do like to shoot side by side. This actually works out ergonomically because I can punch out and still have control by pushing my hand against this hand here, and it works out good. I can still control the gun, and I've even tried it this way too, where it's top and bottom like that. So it's not a big deal for me personally, but it might be for you. Another nice feature about this flashlight is that the tail cap has a very strong magnet built into it. So like I said, you could tail stand this thing to light up a room, or you can attach it to anything metal, which is nice because sometimes you want light to go sideways and not up. And you know, if you're using this as a emergency light in your vehicle, you could you know, attach this to your hood and look down into your engine bay. That's always nice. Or if you're using this as just a self-defense light and say there's an active shooter in your building, you guys turn off the lights, you lock the doors, you can attach this to a metal cabinet or a door or a hinge or whatever. Turn this on, so when the bad guy comes in the room, for at least a second or two, he's going to be gravitating to this light source, and then everybody can attack him from the sides. So it's just kind of nice to have that option. Really cool. So the R50 pumps out 3,200 lumens on turbo, and it's able to do that because of this monstrous battery. This is a 26650 lithium-ion rechargeable battery with 4,500 milliamps. This thing is a beast of a battery. And to give you an idea how big this is the very popular 18650 lithium-ion rechargeable battery that's used in all kinds of very high quality, powerful tactical flashlights nowadays. And just for example, this is a ThruNite Mini TN30 2016 model. This beer can flashlight pumps out 3,600 lumens, but it uses 4 of these 18650s, whereas this is pumping out 3,200 lumens with just 1 of these batteries here. So that's pretty cool. If you look right here, you'll see an O-ring, and that's what helps keep this flashlight water resistant. And Olight says that this flashlight has been tested to IPX8 standards down to 2 meters. So that's just over 6 feet. So you could take this thing out into bad weather, and you don't have to worry about this thing failing on you. I wouldn't go diving with it, but it can get wet in the rain, and you could probably dunk this in a river for a little while. As long as it doesn't stay down there for a long time, you should be fine. So like I said earlier, it ships with this cool docking station. This is what really sets it apart from the other kits. This is the LE kit, so this is what cops and security guards and contractors and anybody who wants a professional grade flashlight want. They want a docking station where they don't have to plug in a USB to charge their flashlight. They just mount this in their vehicle, in their office, and when they get in, they take this off their belt, drop it in the docking station, and this thing charges. Or they could leave it overnight if they leave it at work or whatever, and just leave it charging until they come back. So that's really cool. Now here's a cool feature for you guys that just want a flashlight for emergency purposes. There's a little switch on the back of this here, and if you turn it onto the on position, what that means is if you have this mounted in your kitchen or somewhere in your bedroom, and you have this as your emergency go-to light in case something happens with your power, if this gets disconnected for whatever reason, or if the power goes out in a storm or whatever, this flashlight will automatically turn on. So let's unplug it right here, and you'll see this light turn on. All right, so let's just simulate the power going out. I'm going to unplug it, and boom, the light automatically turns on. So this is a nice feature for guys that want to have an emergency light in a room where you can always have illumination. You can see where you're going if you have to get out right away. And also just to be able to find the flashlight, you're not fumbling around in the dark looking for a flashlight. It's on and you know where it is. And for those of you guys that are worried about this thing automatically turning on in your vehicle, if you had this mounted inside a patrol vehicle or something like that, you can switch this thing off. You unplug it, power's off, and it doesn't come on. So that's a nice feature for you guys who want this mounted in your vehicle. So along with the docking station, you also get this car charger if you want to mount this in your vehicle. You also get a couple wall mounts. You can either use the 3M sticky tape on the back to stick it onto anything, or you can use the hook and loop field if there's, I don't know where you'd want to use hook and loop field. And also you have these screws for mounting it to drywall or wood. And then you have this fantastic nylon holster. I'm not going to talk about that because you guys will either love it or hate it. All right, so let's talk about the pros and the cons. You guys know how I do things. I like to talk about the pros and the cons because I think that just helps you guys make a better decision. This does have some weaknesses and some negatives that some of you guys might agree with me. It doesn't have a tail clicky, like I said earlier. That's not a big deal to me, but some of you guys may not like that. It also doesn't have flat spots built into the body, so when you drop this thing's gonna roll. Here's a night core. This is the TMO3 Tiny Monster, and it has flat spots built in, and it'll stop a lot faster than this. So it's just a minor thing. It's not that big a deal. It also doesn't have a pocket clip anywhere on this thing. Not that you'd want to put this in your pocket because this is a monster style flashlight. This is more of a duty flashlight to be on a belt, but it doesn't have a pocket clip. A lot of duty flashlights do have pocket clips, like this Streamlight. So just a minor thing, not that big a deal, but I think it should be noted that it just doesn't have some features that most law enforcement guys are used to having. All right, so like I said, it only has one button to actuate the features on this thing, and let's just fly through some of the features. So you'll hold the button down to go to low, medium, high, double tap for turbo, that's 3200 lumens, and triple tap for strobe. So fairly simple operation. It's not difficult. I know some guys don't like that, but you know what? It's one button and it's easy to go through all the different features. So say you had to search a vehicle and you just wanted the lowest setting, 60 lumens, you just hold it down and you don't blow your eyes out. But say you're searching a backyard looking for a bad guy, or searching a house, or your security guard searching a property, and you want the highest lumen, 3200 lumens right off the bat, just double tap it. And you can get 3200 lumens, blinding 3200 lumens right off the bat. And if you don't have time to hit it twice, you just need to turn it on right away, you still have, oops, let's go ahead. It actually has memory as well, by the way. So if you set it on high and turn it off, leave it on high. If you hit the button again, just one time, it'll go straight to 1000 lumens right off the bat. And 1000 lumens is a lot of lumens, guys. So just turning it on to have 1000 lumens is nice. And then if you need turbo, just double tap and it goes even brighter. So easy stuff. It's not that difficult. So let's talk about the strobe feature on this thing, because it is a law enforcement oriented flashlight. I know some of you guys out there want strobe immediately. With one click, you go straight to strobe. A lot of tactical flashlights have that feature where you gotta double tap it to go to strobe. Like this Streamlight, you have to double tap to go to strobe. Whereas this one, you gotta triple tap and it goes to strobe. Some guys don't like that. Some guys like the feature of having strobe with just one dedicated button, like this Nightcore TMO3. I can go to strobe just by pushing this secondary button. So that is actually a better way to actuate strobe if you're one of those guys that like to use strobe. I personally never use strobe. I've never had a situation where I needed to use strobe, but you know what? Some of you guys love to use strobe, so that may be something that may be a negative to you guys. It's not that big a deal to me though. All right, so let's take this thing outside and show you guys what this thing can do. All right, so we're going to be comparing the Maglite next to the Olight. Okay, so I'm going to use the Maglite with the 3 D-cell batteries as a baseline. So here you go. These batteries are brand new. I just bought them yesterday. And this flashlight is brand new. I mean, relatively brand new. It's only about a year old. And that tree is only about maybe 10 feet away. And here's the Olight R50 Seeker Pro. Now if you want to see further down the trail, just hit double tap and do turbo. That is incredible. Look at that. It lights up the whole trail. All right, guys, so there you have it. That is my review of the Olight R50 Pro Seeker LE kit. And my final thoughts are I absolutely love this flashlight. I really do. I'm not kidding, guys. I'm really happy to have this flashlight because it's just such an incredible floodlight. When you're searching a room, man, this thing just does fantastic searching rooms. And I like that because you can use your peripheral vision, and that's really important. Situational awareness is very important. So this is my new favorite flashlight as far as a work flashlight. I love it. And then also to the emergency features on it, you know, when it turns on, when the power goes out, that's just a nice feature too for just having this thing at home. All right, guys, if you want to learn more about this flashlight, you can go to www.olightworld.com. They got a lot of information there as well. And if you want to buy this flashlight, it's roughly about $139 depending on where you shop. All right, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please hit that thumbs up, like my video to support my channel. I really appreciate it. It helps me out a lot. If you want to see what's next, hit subscribe and leave a comment below. Let me know what you guys thought about this badass flashlight. Take care, guys. Have a good one.